Okay, so now I am in my computer and everything is working better for me. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So today we're officially gonna have our first class, and we're gonna have also the introduction we were trying to have yesterday, okay? So I'm going to share the screen to explain you again what I was explaining yesterday, but we're gonna do it a little faster, and then we're gonna go to the speaking part. Okay, so as I was telling you, these are all of the units. I'm currently sharing the screen. Can you see it? Yes. Okay, so what you're seeing on screen are all the units that you have seen before. And we are going to work with the unit 9 during these 2 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks, we're gonna be working with the travel, which is a unit 10. So in the unit 9, what are we gonna see? What are we gonna be working with? Okay, we're gonna work with the 5 skills of English, which is listening, speaking, reading, writing, and grammar, and use of English. It's similar to vocabulary. And well, these are all the topics we're gonna cover, and let's go and start with the first one. Here we have the objectives and sequence of the first part. And it says unit objectives, the weather, real hypothetical, and hypothetical language. And we are here, we're gonna start with grammar, which is the first conditional. And I'm just explaining you real quick the topics, okay? And we are going to start with the unit introduction, which is speaking. Okay, by the way, we are going to speak a lot, okay? So Alberto has been here before, so it's a lot of speaking. So I really want you to participate, and it's all about your experiences and talking and speaking and that. And let's start with the introduction. So here we have some questions, and we have like many different questions. So we're gonna start like with the first round of questions. And the first one says, what is your favorite kind of weather? Okay, so tell me, Gabriela, let's start with you. What is your favorite kind of weather?
My favorite kind of weather, I think that between cold and hot, it's not too hot and not too cold.
Okay, so let's talk about seasons. What will be your favorite season? Autumn or spring?
Yes, autumn.
Okay.
Definitely autumn.
Okay. The rest of you, what about you, Alberto? What's your favorite kind of weather?
Well, I like the when the day is cloudy.
Okay.
I like see or enjoy the day when it's rainy.
Rainy. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are in Obregon, right?
I'm from Obregon, but I'm living in San Carlos.
In San Carlos. And how's the weather in San Carlos now? Is it cloudy? Has it rained?
No. Right now is sunny. So maybe the yesterday was a little cloudy.
Okay. Okay. Christian, what about you? What is your favorite weather?
I like the winter. I like too much.
You like winter?
Yeah, before I love a beach, but when I live in the winter, I love the snow more because all the days I'm happy. And when the day is hot, I'm not happy.
Okay. Where are you living?
Right now in Fort Myers is a beach.
Okay. So is there snow in the winter?
No,
No?
But
Okay.
I live before in Boston.
And what do you prefer?
I prefer the snow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Okay. Thank you. Carlo, what about you?
Hi, good afternoon. I like it depends, but I think I like more summer.
Summer? Okay.
Yeah, because you can take out the heat with the air, and in the winter or when it's snowing, something like that, you cannot take out the cold that easy.
Well, yeah, and as you said, it depends, right? It depends because, for example, here I live in Hermosillo and it's really hot, and I hate summer here because it's not only the air conditioning what you need. I mean, sometimes it's too hot that it's not enough. So it depends, right, where you are. Probably the summer you live in Magdalena, right?
Yeah.
It's not that hot there in the summer. I mean, yes, it is hot, but I don't know. Let's say that in the afternoons you can go and take a walk and it's okay. But
Yeah.
well,
When the sun is not up, you can do whatever you want here.
okay. Hello, Manuel. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
We are discussing these questions and we're in the first one. We're talking about our favorite weather. What's your favorite weather?
Good question. My favorite weather is not too hot, but not too cold. At the end, it's like October, November, like in Oregon, for example.
Yeah, that is exactly what Gabriela said, and she was saying that she loves autumn. And so good. Okay, let's go then to the second question. How can you ask people for information about the weather in English? Okay, so let's place ourselves as if we were like having a conversation or about to start a conversation with someone else. How would you ask about the weather? I mean, the typical question when you are surrounded by people and you want to start a conversation, like when there's someone you don't know and you want to ask this person about or say something related to the weather. How do you ask people about the weather?
We can say like, hi, how are you? How's everything? How's the weather in your town? How do you expect to be these days? It's going to be raining. If you had some, I think like cows or something, animals in the ranch, you ask all the day, the people here in Magdalena are asking, you think it's going to rain this day? You think it's going to rain a few days right now? So
yeah,
something like that.
typical, right? During this season of rain, it's very common to ask like, oh, do you think it's gonna rain? Yeah. But let's say that we're practicing English, right? So let's imagine that we are, I don't know, in a foreign country where English is the only spoken language. So how would you ask someone in English about the weather, something related to the weather?
Like for example, hi, how are you? I'm new here. How is the weather this week? Or how is the weather this one? It's too hot the summer.
Okay. What could be another question? I mean, yes, but you said the same. So I don't know if someone else here have a different way to start a conversation talking about the weather.
For example, it's
Me.
about, oh yes, sorry, Gabriela, continue.
Thanks. For example, excuse me, I will travel on November. How usually are the weather there? What kind of clothes I could use? I don't know,
There,
in November.
okay. Yeah, very good. Uh-huh. Yeah, like when you're traveling, it's very common also to check the weather about the months or the seasons you're gonna be in that place, right? If you're gonna take a winter clothing or summer clothes. So yes, talking about that. So you already said that we can ask about, do you think is it gonna rain, or what clothing can I take? I'm traveling this part or whatever. And Christian also said that what's the weather like, something like that. Is that what you said?
How's the weather this week? Something like that.
What is the weather condition, or what is the weather forecast for this week? It's rainy, cloudy, or sunny, to know what kind of things you need to get or to have with you when you are outside. For example, especially in New York or Europe, something like that, it's very common that starting cloudy and after raining and some hours with sunny, with sun, you can see that something about in your phone that is common that you see what is the weather condition every hour and what is the evolution around the day and these kind of things. And you can ask if you don't know nothing about the weather in some places where you visit or where you will plan to go, like a travel, as Gabriela said. Is normal to ask about how the weather condition, especially for people that you know there, or sometimes only with the news in the TV for the place where you plan to go.
Yeah, like the forecast, as you said, right? It's very common that we every day we check the forecast. So what is the forecast? Can you explain us what is it?
Yeah, the forecast is like a prediction for something. In this case, where we are talking about weather, is you can see what is the prediction of weather for tomorrow or for day after tomorrow, or during the weeks or months, depend of the different data summary, for example, and with the statistical prognostic, something like that. Something like that. This is a forecast. Forecast is a prediction of them.
Very good. Okay, so let's go to the third one. And since most of us are from different cities, so let's talk a little bit about the weather and the temperature where we are. So number 3 says, what is the temperature right now where you live? Okay, so I want you to take a look to the forecast, to the temperature in the city where you are. And let's start with Alberto. Tell me, what's the temperature in San Carlos now?
The weather is according to the page, the internet page, we have 31 centigrades
Degrees.
degrees, yeah, and is cloudy.
It is cloudy, okay, 31 degrees Celsius, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, thank you. 31 Celsius and it is cloudy. Okay, Christian, what about you?
Actually, we are now in hurricane season, so all the week is right now 4 hours a night, and we are at 24 degrees Celsius right now. It's
24.
raining. It's raining
Pretty
too
nice.
much.
It's
Yeah, it's
pretty
been
nice.
nice. I love the weather here.
But you said that it has rained a lot, right? It has been raining.
Yeah, after 3 p.m. it's raining 100%.
Heavy rain or just
Heavy rain, heavy.
heavy rain?
Oh, sometimes heavy or sometimes medium, but never slow. Slow, say? Or no? How can I say?
Low? Okay, low.
Slow, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Carlo, what about you? What's the temperature where you are?
Here, we're about like 85, 87 Fahrenheit
Fahrenheit,
degrees.
right?
Yeah, and the day is cloudy right now, but in the during the day it was a little hot because a lot of humidity right now.
Okay, and do you think it's gonna rain?
I don't think it's gonna rain today. I think it's gonna rain this week, but not today.
Okay, Gabriela, what about you?
Well, right now I'm living in Monterrey. In my computer say that it's 30 Celsius degrees, and
30?
Celsius is smoke. Smoke, I think it's like with a little clouds,
Uh-huh.
but in Monterrey it's crazy the weather.
Why?
Because in a moment it's raining, and 3 minutes later it's, I don't know, it's sunny.
Okay.
And you feel hot.
Yeah, well, yeah. And actually some people say that the weather in Monterrey is similar to the weather in Sonora, right? But well,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure.
so.
You don't think
I
so?
don't think so, because it's not too hot. I'm from Ciudad Obregón. In, I don't know, in July or August, it's in Obregón, it's really hot. In Monterrey, no, you can live with 45 degrees.
Okay. Okay, we must check. Manuel, what about Obregón? Tell us.
Yes, in Oregon, currently we are at 32 degrees, with cloudy in the town where I am now. Is cloudy, but the forecast is continue cloudy until 5 a.m. for tomorrow. This is the forecast. The chance of rain is less than 11%, according to the information of the cell phone. And we have some wind around 27 kilometers per hour.
Nice.
weather.
I mean, you're very specific, right? You should be working this in like something like that because you're very good explaining. Okay, so I'm currently in Hermosillo and the weather is 35 degrees Celsius degrees, so it's cloudy, but it's really hot, really, really hot. So Christian, I was gonna say something. I was gonna tell you. We were discussing about the heavy rain and that. So the opposite of heavy. What is the opposite of heavy?
The opposite to what?
Heavy.
A heavy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but is it like a slow? You say? Heavy is
Soft,
soft is the word.
Light,
Light,
maybe?
light. Uh-huh.
Light.
light, yeah.
Light. So then, so it's heavy or light rain.
Ah,
right?
okay.
Okay. So let's continue then. Number 4 says, where have you been that had the nicest weather? Okay, so let's talk about the places we've visited, and tell me, guys, like randomly, all of you, the ones who want to share, what do you think is the best city or the best place you've been that has the nicest weather?
For me, when I visit Ensenada, Baja California, the weather is perfect.
Yeah, everybody says that, right? That it's very like not hot, not cold, that perfect, just perfect.
Exactly, just perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I
Someone else?
Yes, I have two places that I consider very good in terms to weather. One of them is San Miguel de Allende,
Okay.
and summer and in winter the temperature is temperate with normal humid and low temperature, like maximum temperature of 30 degrees. This is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And the second place that I stayed was on Grenoble, on France. Have almost the same weather, but on summer only, because on winter is very cold. But I think in summer is very, very good, the weather.
Okay. Nice. Christian?
Okay. I say Ensenada, Baja California.
Ah, that's true. I don't know why I thought it was your brother. Sorry.
Don't worry. You want to
Okay.
say the same, I think so.
Okay. Let's go then to the next round of questions. And here it says, where do you think is the driest place on earth?
Hermosillo.
Hermosillo. Okay.
El desierto de Altar.
Altar. Okay. Someone else? Alberto, you've been very quiet.
Yeah, I think Sonora is the driest place in the earth. It's so dry and very warm.
Okay, but you can generalize because Sonora has places that are like very cold, such as Agua Prieta, Cananea, and well, but
Yes.
so probably Altar, Hermosillo, as you said. But well, yeah, people who have traveled more. could share
Mexicali.
experiences. Yeah, Mexicali is
yeah.
also one of the driest.
According
Okay.
to some information, sorry, Teacher,
Huh?
yes, according to some information that I reviewed around 1 month ago, I see that the Altar Desert
Uh-huh.
is most registered the highest temperature in the world in the sun in the sunny
Okay.
in the sandy is
What
the-
about Phoenix? Because Phoenix is also a very dry place.
yes, it's like a desert too, but not. I didn't see
Not as
anything
Altar.
about. No, it's yes.
Okay, thank you. So then the next question says, what part of your country has the best weather? What about the worst weather? So let's say that we can say that we already discussed this because it's part of Mexico and you were sharing some of the places from Mexico. But what about the worst weather? What would be the worst weather in the country? Well, talking about what part of our country has the worst weather?
I think that the worst part of the country, taking out Sonora because the heat that we have here, we think about the Pacific in the south of Mexico. So the hurricanes, a lot of hurricanes, and that make a lot of damage to the cities and all the people over there that is living. That's what I think about.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And actually, for example, I remember last year we didn't have that much rain, and this year at least we are having rain and it's not that heavy or it hasn't caused that much damage. So let's hope that it continues raining, but just like this. I mean, not that heavy or that hard. Okay, let's go to the third question, and it says, does the weather change much during the different seasons where you live? Okay, think about the place where you are, because now that I think and take a look, every single student here, including me, we are living in different cities, which is perfect because we can compare, right? So think about the place where you are now, where you're currently living. Does the weather change much during the different seasons?
In Monterrey, I think yes, especially in the July, August, and June. And when it comes to the rainy days, it changed so much. One day it's like, I don't know, 20 Celsius degrees, and in 4 hours later, it's like 28. It
Okay.
changed.
And what about, for example, summer and autumn? Does it change a lot?
Not much. In autumn and winter, it doesn't change much.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys? Tell me.
Yeah, for Sonora, especially in Oregon, we have only 2 seasons, light hot and hard hot.
Yeah, I really like winter here because it's not that cold. I mean, you can wear just like a light jacket and it's perfect. You don't need to wear like many sweaters and scarves and that. It's just a light jacket and that is enough. But for example, in Magdalena, I think that it's very cold in winter.
Winter is too cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too cold. And in the summer, it's really hot. So yeah, I agree with you, but probably that it's like general. In Sonora, we only have 2 types of weather, like summer and winter, because in spring it's, I don't know, probably it's hot during the day and not that cold during the night. So I don't know. What do you think, guys? Do you think that it really changes during the seasons, during different seasons?
Yeah.
Do you, Carlos?
Yeah, here in Magdalena, we have the summer is so hot, the winter is so cold, we go below a lot of times. And in October, we have a little autumn that is the best weather that we have in Magdalena in October. In November, after that, is extreme hot or extreme cold.
Okay, so it's just extreme hot or too cold, right?
Yeah.
Only two. Okay. And Christian, what about you? How long have you lived where you are?
I don't have to where I am. We don't have too much change because we can stay all the year with shorts and thick sweater. In January, February, March, December, November, you can run with the same clothes, you know.
Okay, so
Not
it
change
doesn't
nothing.
change.
Only when it's raining.
Okay. Now let's go to number 4. Manuel, I already know that the answer to this question is gonna be yes from you, but do you ever check weather reports or forecasts? I'm pretty sure that your answer, Manuel, is yes, but what about the rest of you? Do you check the weather reports, guys, or forecasts?
No, I don't use the reports only when if I will travel, I try to check the weather reports. Maybe when it's prognostic about the hurricane or something similar, but no, that's is I don't use check the reports.
Okay, so the weather forecast, the forecast is actually, I think it's in all of the cell phones. Every single cell phone has it like for default. I think that you don't even have to download it. It's already there. So it makes it easier to check, right, the weather forecast. But sometimes there's people who actually get in Google or in special websites to check. Do you do it, guys? Do you
Yeah.
check the weather reports?
Yeah, I check
Yes.
all day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and actually, for example, sometimes in this type of cities, like where you are, for example, Christian, that it changes a lot. That some one day is gonna be raining and the other day is not, and like that. If you are planning to do something, you need to check it to see if you're gonna be able to do it or not, right? So
Yeah,
probably here it doesn't change that much. That's why probably that we don't do it that often. But probably during this season, rainy season, it's a good idea to check it, right? Especially if we like the rain and we want to know about when are we gonna have some water. No? Okay. Does anybody want to, I don't know, share something?
Yes.
Tell us.
It's just an experience.
Okay.
And when I moved to Monterrey, it was difficult to me because the people here used to check the weather before to go out to the work, because one day it's raining and you go to prepare with your umbrella or with your boots. So since then, every day in the morning and when I woke up, I check my cell phone and I check if it's gonna rain.
Yes, and it's also part of culture, right? It's also part of culture.
Yes.
I stayed for well, I lived just for like for a month or 2 months in Canada, and the first time I got there, I was like you. I was like, why is people? I mean, for example, I don't know. Let's say that in the morning it was sunny, and everybody were like with an umbrella in their backpack or in their what they were carrying an umbrella and they were wearing boots, rainy boots. And I was like, why? It's sunny. And then like I don't know, let's say that was in the morning, and then for midday it was raining, and I was like, okay. So I had to learn that. I had to check that because I had to be ready, as you say, right? Sometimes it changes a lot and you must be prepared for these type of situations.
and sometimes you can back to your house, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, it's better to carry this stuff in your car. So in case that you need them or in case you don't, it's okay. I mean, they won't be unnecessary. Maybe you'll need them. So you'll have them there. Okay, let's go to the next round of questions. And in the first one we have, do you enjoy sitting in the sun? Do you like to get a tan? Tell me guys about this.
And Hermosillo, no.
Nobody likes here.
And the beach, of course.
Yes, it depends.
It depends on what?
Depends if I am in Cancun or San Carlos. But if I am in the city, in like, I don't know, and the middle of the day, no, I don't like.
Okay. So another way we can say like to get tan like this is when we can hear it, or we can say that is sun kissed. So we say sun kissed when we are getting tanned. Okay, do you like it? Do you like to get sun kissed? I mean, let's talk about that. If you like it, do you like it? Do you like the tan? Like to get tan?
I don't like it because I'm so brown, and when I get a lot of sun, I get black.
Okay, like a Duvalin then?
Yeah, but I like to get not like tan too, but I like to sit in the sun like all of us in the beach with a beer.
So are you the type of people who go to the beach with an umbrella or
Yeah,
not?
no, actually, we go to the beach like 2 weeks ago, and we stay all the day in the beach. But we rent like a big. How do you say it? It's not an umbrella. It's like I don't know how do you say it. Like a tent.
Okay. Yeah, like to camping, like when
Yeah, like a
you
camping.
camp.
But like a
A
camping.
tent.
Yeah, tent. We rent a tent, so it was cool because
Like a bonfire.
yeah, for the babies.
Okay, what about you, Alberto? That you are living there, and I mean, you're there. You're on the beach. So, do you like?
Yeah, no, I really like the beach, but I usually I like see the sunset, but I don't like get a tan. So I prefer the sunset when the sun isn't hard.
Uh-huh.
So yes, with beer and music.
And your motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I really liked it.
Okay, let's go to the number 2. It says, do you think tents are beautiful or unhealthy?
Mm,
What do you think?
depends because at the end is one time per month or something like that, or natural the exposition about with the sound will be good, but at the end in unreal sun maybe unhealthy.
Yeah, and obviously it is a must. We must wear sunscreen when we are getting a tan, right? Otherwise, it is definitely unhealthy. So always wear your sunscreen when you are getting exposed to this type, when you're going to the beach or when you know that you're gonna be walking, or I don't know, like during this, I think that the worst time to go out in summer or when the sun is very hot is from 11 to 4 p.m. I guess. So they always say like try to go, if you're going out, to go after that time, so it will be better for your skin, right?
Okay.
No excess.
Now let's go to the number 3, and it says, which place in the world do you think has the best weather? You don't necessarily have to visit this place, maybe because you read about it or because you have heard of it. What do you think is the best place to live in the world because it has the best weather? Talking about the weather.
I like more winter because the people is more friendly.
People is friendlier.
Yeah.
Okay, but it says which place in the world do
Which
you think
place,
has
yeah.
the best weather?
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't
I
know.
don't know. No.
A place with winter, a place with cold weather, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And it was, now that you talk about that, when I was in Canada, I remember that for me, I went during the summer and I also went during winter. And during the summer, for me, it was cold. For me, it was cold, but for them, it was hot. I mean, it used to rain every single day. And I remember that if there were like one day that it was a little sunny, because it was never that sunny. It was always cloudy, but let's say that it was sunny for them and cloudy for me, everybody were excited and saying, oh, let's go to the beach, it's sunny and that. So it's like us, right? When it is cloudy here, we get excited and we go out and we enjoy the weather like that. So it depends where you are, right? So probably for us that we are from hot weather, we can say that winter is better, but for them that winter is the most common weather, probably summer is better for them, but well, who knows, right? But yeah, definitely I agree with you that winter, people have a better mood during
Yeah, exactly.
right? So okay, let's go to the 4th one, and it says, what kind of weather do you hate? So do you really hate a weather, guys? Is there a weather that you said, I hate it and I can't stand it and I don't do anything during this weather?
Yeah, I consider for by my point of view is the hot weather with high humidity, because it's very difficult for my side. I think it's difficult to take air. It's difficult to. And another thing is you sweat. You are sweet and with different. I don't know what is how to say, with the skin is like a. How in English I don't remember what is the word, like when the skin you feel something like a pegajoso in Spanish.
Sticky?
Yeah, sticky, yeah, like that. And I think this is the weather that I had. It's hot with high humidity, and then.
Okay, I agree with you. Yeah, because we're used to the hot weather, but it's dry, right?
Yeah.
So dry weather. So yeah, I agree with you. Okay, does anybody here hate a different weather?
Oh, we hate the same weather.
Okay, so we all hate the same weather. Okay, let's go to the last round of questions before we go to the grammar part. And it says number 1, what kind of storms do you have where you're from?
When
Fan.
Huh?
Go, Christian, go.
the storm is tormenta, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I have too many hurricanes for I told you before.
okay. Which will be heavy rains, right? Hurricanes, very good.
Heavy rain.
Yeah,
I think that here is the same, right? Like we don't have tornadoes and that type of things, or lightning sometimes, no?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. What about you, Gabriela? What type of storms do you have in Monterrey?
I think that hurricanes, I don't know, another kind.
Okay, like with wind and lightning and heavy rain and that?
Wind, no, I think no, just hurricanes.
Okay. Let's go to the number, no, tell me.
when it's a experience too. When I live in Boston a couple years ago,
Mhm.
we have hurricane with the snow.
Okay,
I
a
don't know how to say.
snowstorm.
It's how is it? How
A
is it?
snowstorm.
A snowstorm. Yeah, I have like 4 or 5 days. with-
Did you like it?
No, all the day in my room. We don't work. We don't nothing.
Yeah, and probably like the heater is not enough, right? It's like,
We have a pool. All the pool is full of snow. All the pool.
and what did you do? Did you
Nothing.
clean it or did you just let it melt?
No. Some people work for the
Okay,
government. They clean. Yeah.
they took care of it. Okay, let's go to the number 2 and it says, are there any times during the year in your country that can't go outside because of the weather? Let's say in our cities, right? Because country it's all Mexico, so
Usually, when it's raining in
Mm.
Oregon or any city in the state, it isn't possible. Isn't possible
Right.
walk or drive because all the streets are what is the word inundado? How can I say inundado?
flooded.
Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and yes, especially here, it's terrible. Like 2 weeks ago, it was like a heavy rain here. It rained for 2 hours, and it was a disaster. I mean, actually, some people died because of it, and it was terrible. Here, I think that the streets here are. Let's say that the city is not ready to receive this type of rain. So yeah, definitely, we will say that when it's raining, don't go outside. Don't do it. Okay. Number 3, how often does it rain where you're from? What would you say? People from Sonora,
Rarely.
how often does it rain here?
Rarely. Rarely.
Huh?
Rarely.
Okay,
Barely.
rarely. Okay, let's say a year. How many times a year does it rain?
Month. Last year, not more than 15.
Okay, so let's hope that
I'm
this
very light.
the
Very
rainy
light
season
rain.
is in July and September or
July, no?
July.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
What is
but
it?
June to
right now.
San
October,
Pedro
something
Day
like
or San Juan.
San Juan.
San Juan.
Okay, and what
San Juan.
about you, Gabriela, in Monterrey? How often does it rain?
It depends, because in between July and September, it rains, I don't know, like twice per week.
Okay,
Sometimes all the week, but
okay,
it depends. It rains a lot in summer.
okay. Christian, what about you? How often does it rain where you are?
Where I'm alive because I'm from Magdalena.
But where you are?
When I am Last year I don't know, but when it's start to winter, it's raining almost all the days. But when it's summer, nothing. No,
Okay.
not raining, nothing. And snow, never,
Never. Okay. Same
never,
here,
never.
right? Well, here in Sonora, it never, well, at least
In
from
the
where we
mountain
are.
in Sonora, no?
But well, Obregón, San Carlos, Hermosillo, Magdalena,
Uh-huh.
no snow at all. And
No, no.
where you are, no.
Agua Prieta, Cananea, yeah, right.
Nogales sometimes.
Exactly.
Okay, number 4. Is it humid where you live?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me the rest of you. Here are
Only there's humidity only the next day when it gets rains, but all the rest of the year when there's no rain, there's not humidity. It's very low humidity.
okay. Well,
Here all the year is we have humidity, but the worst is in the summer.
in summer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. That was the unit introduction discussion where we're talking, and we're gonna continue talking, but now let's go and take a look to the grammar of this first part. And here we have an example, and it says first conditional and time clauses. We're gonna be working with the first conditional. How can we use this in real life, in real context? So I don't know, let's say, Manuel, can you help me to read this sentence, please?
Yes. If it snows tonight, school will be canceled tomorrow.
Okay, so as you can see here, I have two different tenses. This one is in present tense and this one is in future tense. What does this mean? Let's say that we're gonna be talking about, well, the if, it's about like cause and effect. So how can we use this type of sentences using the first conditional, like take it to real life situations? Okay, real or unreal. In English, there are many ways of making sentences with the word if, because we have different conditionals. We have 0, first, second, and third conditional. So we're gonna be working with the second conditional, and it says it is very important to understand the difference between real possibilities and sentences that express unreal or imaginary situations. So using these if sentences, these sentences starting with if, is to talk about possibilities. They can be real or they can be imaginary, which means that they're just possibilities, right? Like, but let's say real ones and just unreal. For example, real possibilities. Alberto, help me to read the 3 examples I have here, please. Alberto, are you there?
Sorry. If it snows, school will be canceled. You should stay home if you are sick. We'll have a great time if you join. We have a great time if you join us.
Very good. So as you can see here, we can use this type of sentences starting with the if clause, or starting with the it is divided like this. We have 2 clauses. We have the if clause and then we have the other clause, right? So here at the beginning in this one, we're starting with if, and when we use if, we're gonna use the present tense. If it snows, and then on the other clause, I'm gonna start with will be canceled. You should stay home if you're sick. We'll have a great time. Here I'm starting with a will part. We'll have a great time if you join us. So when I start the sentence with if, I'm gonna separate the clauses with a comma. But if I start with will, I don't have to use a comma. So it just goes like this. I'm explaining this part of the commas when you write it, right? But when you're like speaking it, it's not necessary to make that point, right? Okay, so this is for the real possibilities. And as you see, it's like when you're showing like a cause and effect. If it is no, school will be canceled. That is the effect. The cause is snow, and the effect that is gonna be canceled. Unreal or imaginary situations. Christian, help me to read them, please. Wait.
You will understand if you spoke my language. I could help you if I had time. I would be sleepy if I didn't drink coffee in the morning.
This type of conditionals, there are many different conditionals, as I told you. When we use the will part, we have to join it, or the if will be joined with the past tense. This is for imaginary situations, for things that are not real. For example, if I were you, I will buy that. I will buy that. Or if I were you, I wouldn't invite that person. So that is just imagining things that are unreal, that are not possible. For things that are real, that can be possible, we're gonna use the real possibilities. Instead of would, we're gonna use will or should, as we have in the second one. And we're gonna use the present tense with the if part. If with the present tense, and then in the second part, will or should. And for unreal or imaginary situations, which are not true, at least not in the present, you're gonna use would, and with the if, you're gonna use past. Let's see more examples or more about this. First conditional. The first conditional is used to describe real possibilities. What does it mean? That this is going to happen. I mean, this is true. For example, if we have time, we'll stop in Seattle. They're talking about a possibility, and this possibility can happen. I mean, it's real. They're saying that if they have time, they will make that stop. That is gonna happen if they have time. Then we have another example. If you don't understand, you'll have problems tomorrow. This is just like the if, it's como el hubiera, right? So it's very common to use it. It's very useful. Next, if she doesn't study, she will make much improvement. Cause and effect, real situations, real possibilities. If I do that, he will get angry. When we begin our sentences with an if clause, we use a comma to separate the two parts of the sentences. If we begin our sentence with a result clause, we don't use a comma. It's what I told you before. I can start it like with the result clause or with the if clause, and it won't change anything in the meaning. No me va a cambiar nada en el significado. It's gonna be exactly the same. But if I'm writing it, and if I start with the if clause, I have to separate them both with a comma. And if I'm starting with the result clause, in this case with the will clause or the should clause, I don't have to. I mean, it's not necessary. For example, Carlos, can you help me to read these examples, please?
Yeah, sorry, I put the mute. If you do that, I'll take away your toys. If don't eat soon, I'll be angry. She'll laugh if you tell her to joke. We won't study that if you don't want to.
Exactly. So every single sentence in here is showing a real possibility, something that will happen, right? So if I do that again, I'll take away your toys. This is probably something that a father will tell their kid. If I don't eat soon, I'll be angry. It means that I'm hungry. And if I don't eat, I'm gonna be in a very bad mood. So this is real. I mean, this is gonna happen, cause and effect. Now let's go to the other time clauses. Conditions of time just the same form as for conditional sentences. In time clauses sentences, instead of if, we use expressions like when, as soon as, until, before, and after. Like first conditional sentences, we use simple present with these words, and the other class in the sentences we use will. But let's say that what will be the difference between if and expressions such as when, or as soon as, or until, or before and after. With the if, let's say that it is possible to happen, but with when, it's like very highly possible to happen. For example, give me a second, please. Okay, I'm sorry. For example, if I say, what do you think could be the difference if I say, oh, if I finish my homework, I'll go to the party. Then if I say, oh, when I finish my homework, I'll go to the party. What do you think is the difference? How do you perceive it? With the first and the second sentence I gave you.
The first is like if I you hear me?
Yeah.
The first is if I finish my homework, I go to the party. It's saying like something is gonna happen if I make some task. It's not. It's like an affirmation, something like that.
It's just as a possibility, right?
As a possibility, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the other one, and how is it?
When I finish my homework, I'll go to the party.
It's talking about time. Something. Okay.
Condition.
Condition. When.
As it says
When.
here, condition of time. Let's say that it's more possible to happen, right? It's almost sure that it's gonna happen. That would be the difference, because with the if, I'm just saying that it's a possibility, and using when or using as soon as or until or etc. I'm telling you exactly when the result is gonna happen. Yes, is it clear the difference between if and the time expressions? For example, I will eat breakfast before I take a shower. Until you apologize, I will not speak to you. When I go to the game, I'll buy a hot dog. Okay, so if you see, I'm showing you, using these time expressions, I'm showing you when the result is gonna happen, or when am I gonna do that action. And using if, I'm not saying exactly when, I'm just saying that is a possibility. Yes? Okay. It says here, notice when we start sentences with time expressions, we separate the two parts of the sentences with a comma, as I said before. Now, tell me, till this part, we're just focusing more in the first conditional, because this one, the one that is real, like isn't real or imaginary, for imaginary situations, is a different structure. It's a if plus the past tense, and then would plus the infinitive. We'll understand if you spoke. This is just imagining, it's not real. But we're focusing in the first conditional, and the structure is if, present simple, plus will. And the will be with a base form. So we're gonna go and answer an exercise, and then we're gonna go in practice using this conditional about different contexts we can use them, okay? Now tell me, do you have any question or something you would like to say, comment, or whatever about what we're talking about?
No, not right now.
No? Okay.
Not yet.
So now it's gonna go and answer. Here, down here, all of you, I think that all of you have the smart license, do you? Did you pay for the smart license? I think you did. Okay, well.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, go to this part of the session, please. 9.1, first conditional and time clauses. And if you go down here, it says exercise. I'm going to share it with you. It's already shared. And you'll be able to open it. Please open it because we're gonna be working with it.
Okay.
I want you to open it so in case that you have a trouble or you can't or something like that, we can do something. So please let me know when you have it opened.
I already have it.
It's number 9, right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Manuel, Gabriela,
No, I don't have
Yes.
idea how to start
how to start it?
the session.
Okay, Getting Smart. This is the link, smartenglish.com.
Yes,
You're ready
enter.
there? Enter with
Yes.
your Gmail. Yes, Manuel?
Yes, I am doing.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And when you are there, go to the 9.1, and at the end, at the bottom of the web page, you're gonna find this exercise. Could you?
Mhm. Yes, I am in the first course, and after
Look for this one, 9.1, first conditional and time clauses.
I stay in like on the I think the main page.
Are you on a computer?
Yes.
Would you like to share the screen so I can help you?
Okay. Please, could you give me the permission to share?
I am doing it. Done. Okay. Go here. It's sorry. Yeah, there. Uh-huh. Oh no, it's because you haven't signed in. You need to sign in. There. Uh-huh. Okay, now yes, again. English for adults. Here, it's a 20, is it 20, right? English 20.
English what, sorry?
English 20. 120, yeah, 120.
120, yes.
Sorry. Then unit 9. Oh, but no, you're not allowed. Let me ask Gabriela.
¿Puedo
Okay.
decir ¿puedo decirlo en español?
Yes.
Tiene que meterse en la clase. Mira, dale todo para arriba. Y vas a dar en medio, donde están los 3 monitos. Ahí. Y luego join a class. Él no tiene la clase, no sé.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna check with Gabriela. Okay, it's okay. We're gonna do it all together, so we can help you and help each other. So here it says, put the verbs into the correct first conditional form. For example, I have here if it, and then tomorrow, he, and then miserable. So we're talking about cause and effect, right? So not be sunny. Remember, when we're talking about the first conditional, what is the verb tense that we have to use with the if clause? Do you remember? Present, past, future. What do I have to use with if?
Present.
Present, exactly. So as you can see here, I already have the example. If it isn't sunny tomorrow, he'll be miserable. Isn't is the present tense. It is negative. If it isn't sunny tomorrow, he'll be miserable. If it is not sunny, he'll be miserable. These are like different ways we can say it, contractor or complete. So let's go to the second one. It says, if you, and then I have go is the verb, and then to the exhibition, you have a good time. Okay. Tell me, guys, how do you think is this answer? What is the answer to this example? To this sentence?
You go.
If you go, okay, it says like that. If you go to the exhibition, what?
You will have a good
You
time.
will have.
You will have. Very good. We can contract it as saying you'll have a good time, which is exactly the same. Very good. If you go to the exhibition, you will have a good time. Very good. Okay, letter B. I'll be asking one by one so everybody have the opportunity of participating. Okay, Alberto, letter B.
If global warming continue,
Continuous.
it will destroy the world.
Very good. Christian, C.
If he comes, I will be surprised.
Very
I
good.
will.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. Carlos, letter D, give me there.
If the humidity go up. Will
Go up.
go up. We buy we will buy an air conditioner.
Very good.
We have to
Answer it. Yes, please.
we have to put the text to in the square.
Well, why? Were you just writing the answers?
Yeah, no, I asking to save and close, or the class is going to continue if we don't fill the square. It's a question.
Well, the class finishes at 8.
No. If I don't fill the squares.
Okay. No, nothing will happen.
Okay,
But
okay.
this is just for you to practice. This time we're doing it all together because Manuel doesn't have access to the platform and I need to figure that out what's going on. So for the rest of the classes, you have the opportunity of doing it by your own, and then we're gonna share the answers.
Okay.
Okay, letter E. Manuel?
If we go on holidays this summer, we'll go to Spain.
We will go. Very good. Exercises of grammar tend to be too long sometimes, but they're useful. Gabriela, letter F.
If the weather isn't improved, we will not have a picnic.
We will not have a picnic. Okay, I want you to take a look to your sentence, Gabriela, and tell me, is there something that you would like to change? Or does anybody notice something? Or has it different? Here, it doesn't, we don't using the,
It's gonna be like if the weather is not
Don't.
improved.
if the
will not-
weather what?
If the weather doesn't improve.
Doesn't improve. Doesn't improve. When we have action verbs, we use doesn't in this case because weather is an it. So for things in singular, we use doesn't. If the weather doesn't improve, we will not have a picnic, or we won't have a picnic.
As a question,
Yes.
it is if we use in the word the verb improve, but in past, it's incorrect.
Yes, because it says if the weather doesn't improve, you're talking about present tense, but you're not using it as an adjective. For example, you can say the weather has improved and use it in past, but that will be present perfect, and we're using simple present. So if the weather doesn't improve and the verb stays in present. Okay. If you were talking about imaginary situations, you could use it in past. For example, saying, if the weather improved, we will go to the party. What does it mean? That the weather didn't improve and that you are not going to the party. But since you're talking about a possibility, a real possibility, that's why we use present tense. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, letter G. Alberto, please.
Will life disappear?
Take a look at it. I was wondering if you were gonna get confused with this. Remember, the if clause goes with the present tense. The result clause goes with the future tense. In this case, you are starting with the result clause. That means that
Will life disappear
disappear
if deforestation continues?
Very good. Letter H, Christian.
I don't know, I don't know, those will become a problem if we don't clean it up every week.
If we don't clean up every week. Very good. Okay, Carlos,
We have to learn about. We will have to learn about Fahrenheit if we move to the USA.
we'll have to learn about
If we move or if we
if
go.
we move to the USA.
Move.
Very good. Letter J, Manuel.
Yes. If I won't go to bed early. I don't know. Is if yes.
Think about it.
If I don't go to bed early, I will be tired tomorrow.
I will be tired tomorrow. Very good. Okay, Gabriela.
I will come early if you want.
Very good. So always remember, when you're talking about real possibilities, things that are likely to happen, things that you're saying that are possible to happen, when another action finishes, remember to use this conditional, which is using the if plus the simple present and the result plus with the will part. Okay, you can start with the result plus, or you can start with the if plus, and it's exactly the same. It doesn't change the meaning. Okay, number 2 says, put the verb into the correct form. I'll hide when the lighting starts. I will hide when the lighting starts. It's okay. It's showing you the different ways, like the complete one with will and the contracted one with all. Okay, Alberto, letter A.
She will stay here until you come back.
Very good. Here we're using times expressions, which is more accurate, more exact when the situation is going to happen, right?
Teacher,
Yes.
we can use here it doesn't have a contraction here. It's only, she
with
will.
until, you can use till. Till is a contraction of until.
No, but with she'll
stay. Yeah, of course. You can tell she'll stay here.
Okay.
You can contract both of them. She'll stay here till you come back. Till is a contracted form of until. In let's say in a speaking, because written it's not that common, but well, it's the same. She'll stay here until you come back. Okay, letter B, Christian.
We don't go home before. No, sorry, I'm gonna say again.
Okay.
We don't go home before we will visit the art gallery. No.
Remember that sometimes, as in these examples with the time expressions, these time expressions such as before, until, when, etc., are replacing if. But it's exactly the same structure. The time expression goes with the simple present, and then the result plus the other one goes with the future term. So
we won't go home before.
We won't go home.
We will visit the art gallery.
No, we won't go home before we visit the art gallery.
Okay.
Okay.
Teacher, in this sentence, is correct to say we shouldn't go home before visit the art gallery?
Yeah, but remember, and you know that the difference between will and should is different. I mean, it's a big difference because should is like an advice could be.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
in this case, if what would be the difference if we say we won't go home before we visit the art gallery? You're saying that you really don't want to go home before you do that. And if
Okay.
you say we shouldn't go home before we visit the
It's
art
like
gallery,
it's
you're
a
just
possibility.
saying, you're just saying that it's something that you would like to do, but you're not saying that it's gonna happen. Yes.
Okay.
But yes, I mean, you can use shouldn't instead of want, but it will show a different meaning. Okay, letter C, Carlos.
Read it first. As soon as it's almost the same. As soon as it's warm up, let's go outside. It's gonna be the same.
As soon as it warms up,
Warms-
remember that
warms.
he and he goes, we have to modify the verb in present tense.
Warms
Yes.
is with an S in the end.
And that's it. Manuel, letter D.
I love you until I find somebody better.
Okay.
French
That's a
sentence.
good. No lo digas, entonces, no le digas en voz alta, te van a correr de la casa.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, here, okay, first we're starting with the will part, and then we go with the until is the one replacing if, and then it goes with the simple present. Letter E, Gabriela, this is a question, so remember that in questions we first start with the condition, with the auxiliary verb.
Will you go to the park after the sun sets?
Very good. Letter F, Alberto.
I will keep riding my bike to school until the weather gets too harsh. What means harsh?
Until the weather gets.
Gets too harsh.
Okay.
Teacher, what is harsh?
It's like, for example, they're talking about the weather. If you look at the image, it's snowing. So if it says until the weather gets too harsh, it means that it's impossible to ride. For example, it means that he'll keep riding until it's impossible, like until it's like very, very
Hard. A little bit more than hard. It's like a little bit, a lot of, but more than hard.
By the way, using this to instead of so, because we can say that, oh, it's so hot or it's so cold. To, it means like even more than that. If I say that it's too hot or too cold, it means that it's almost impossible to be there.
Okay.
Okay, letter G. Christian.
Teacher, sorry, teacher.
Okay.
We can use the word harsh and other things of not talking about weather. Like if we're talking about something like, oh, this homework is too harsh, we can use the word like that too, or is a word that you only use on the weather?
It's more about, it's just for the weather, and also probably it could be as a synonym of something cruel, something severe would be the word. Like, for example, a task, but not like a homework, more like a task, a physical task, for example.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
you can say that it's harsh when it's like a lot and it is difficult and like that.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who was going to answer letter G? Christian, right?
Christian. Before spring will start, we plant seeds for the crops.
before spring will start with what?
We plain isn't past. We plain it.
Planet seeds for the crops. No. Let's see. Vamos a revisarlo. Before is the same, well, not necessarily the same. It's replacing if. You're saying that this is gonna happen before spring what? Before spring starts. Antes de que empiece la primavera.
Starts.
Before spring starts, we will
Will-
plant seeds.
Okay.
We will plant seeds for the crops. Remember, before, until, when, after, those are used as in the first conditional, but remember that these are replacing if, because if it's just a possibility, and using before, after, when, or as soon as, etc. You are saying exactly when those things are gonna happen. In this case, I'm saying before spring, so I'm being more accurate. I'm telling you when this thing is gonna happen. Okay, letter H, Carlos.
Oh, she draws a sketch before she. Okay, it can be like she'll draw a sketch before she will paint the picture, or she will draw a sketch before she paints a picture.
She paints.
She paints a picture.
Picture. Remember this thing of adding the S, it is only with he, she, and it. So if I'm talking about the weather, yes, I'm gonna change it. If I'm talking about a woman, I'm going to change it. If I'm talking about a man, I'm going to change it. But if I'm talking in plural, or if I'm talking about me, I'm not gonna add the S, okay?
So if we say they are going to draw a sketch before they paint a picture.
They paint, no S.
Okay.
But if I
Okay.
say before it paints, before she paints, before he paints, and instead of she, I can have, I don't know, Lorena, before Lorena paints. Instead of he, I can have Daniel, before Daniel paints. Instead of it, I can have before the rain. The rain is a thing, one thing. So then before the rain paints, for example, right? Just to show you an example. Okay, letter I, Manuel.
Okay. We have it. She will she would like the news when she hears it.
Okay, she won't like the news when she hears it. What does this mean? That those are bad news, right? She's gonna be hearing bad news, so she won't like the news when she hears it. It means that these are bad news. Okay, now it says, choose the correct connector to complete the following sentences. With connector refers to the words we were doing in this last exercise: before, until, when, as soon as, and after. Those are the connectors. Remember, these are time expressions, and each one of them shows me a different time. Could be before, it means like, it means that the event hasn't happened yet. After, it means that the event has finished. Until, it means that this is not gonna happen until the event starts. When, I'm telling you exactly when the things are gonna happen and that. So it depends on the context, we are going to choose the connector. And Gabriela, you are the first one. Here I have an example, and it says, before they come to class, they will probably get some coffee. So how can I know if I'm gonna use before, when, until, etc.? It depends on the context, right? We always have to check the context of the sentence. We have to read the rest of the sentence to understand the context, to understand when they're talking about or what are they referring to. So Gabriela, letter A, read it and tell me, what do you think is better, if or until?
Buses will stop running until it drops below freezing.
Okay, very good. Letter B, Alberto, we shall stay inside, the lighting stops.
We should stay inside. Before the lighting stops.
Okay,
Until, no?
I think it's until. What are lightings, Alberto? What are lighting?
Okay. Yeah, it's until lighting
Uh-huh.
is like rayos.
Yes. So they shouldn't stay inside until it stops. Very good. Letter C. Christian, I don't want to be buried.
Yeah, I don't want to be buried when I die.
When I die. Very good. Letter D, Carlos.
Uh, uh, before
Very good. Before.
we run out of soap, we should buy some more.
Excellent. Manuel, letter E.
It will stay home if it gets measurable outside.
Very good. If. Gabriela, again, letter F.
My skin turns red when I drink alcohol.
I just want to say that this one, it could be complicated just because it could be also after. So it depends on the
Okay.
context, right? I mean, it could, for me, I think that it depends on the context. We don't have that much information. So it could be, if you chose after, it's good. If you chose when, it's also good. Because maybe this happens at the moment I drink it, and that will be when, but maybe it happens after I drink it. I mean, like once I don't know, maybe when I drink a lot or whatever. So it could be when or after. So Gabriela says when, it's good. And if you chose after, it's also good. Okay, Alberto.
Until your English improves, you should stay in class.
Okay, very good. Christian, letter H.
I will plug my cell phone in when I go to bed tonight.
Very good. When? Letter I, Carlos.
It's too late. The movie will sell before.
Before, very good.
It's too late. The movie will sell out before we arrive at the theater.
Excellent. Manuel, letter J.
We learn about okay, while.
While. What does it mean while? Like not
Like
the translation,
like
but
like in parallel.
Hmm?
Like in parallel, something like that.
okay, let's
During when we
something
are
like
doing
during.
this one, is when we are doing this one, I
Exactly.
at the same time had the other thing.
Okay, so read the sentence again.
You
Read it,
will
please.
you will learn about different genres of music while you move that to that country.
Okay, so you
okay.
will learn while you're moving.
Oh, okay, yes, it's in the future. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah.
So it's
When,
right? Okay, so when you move, you will learn. Very good. Okay, letter K. Gabriela?
If you stop buying your lunch every day, you will save a lot of money.
Yes, this is a real possibility, so perfect with if. Alberto, letter L.
The world will never change until everybody gets more environmentally conscious.
Excellent. Very good.
Teacher, we can use here both or not?
If the first part, in this case, you are in the first sentence, the first clause, you have a negative. You have a negative. The world will never change until everybody gets more environmental.
Okay.
It will be the world will change as soon as everybody gets more environmental, you have to have it positive in order to be with as soon as.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, letter M, Manuel. Birds
Yes.
will come back.
This will come back to the city after it warms up.
Okay, very good. And letter N, Gabriela.
It's an emergency. Call me as soon as you can.
As soon as you can, very good. Now it says, complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs. By the way, just to mention, right, probably you already know it. Another way of saying as soon as is saying it like this. You can write it, you can type it, and it's exactly the same.
But how?
Okay.
As soon as possible.
Okay, okay. Okay. ASP. ¿Cómo se dice?
Just as it is written, ASAP. ASAP, as soon as possible.
ASAP. ASAP.
So,
ASAP. Yeah, I didn't read. No alcanzo a leer donde usted está escribiendo. Estoy
I am
pequeño.
sorry. Sorry. Thank you.
ASAP.
Okay, now the last part says, complete the sentences with the correct forms of the verb. For example, I will be in this country until my visa expires. So it's basically the same, but now we're gonna be filling it depending on the context, okay? So it's the same. So the last person answering was Gabriela. So Alberto, letter A.
She will get here after she finished the work.
She finished or
Finish, yeah.
she finished?
Finish.
Finishes. She finishes work. Letter C, Christian.
we will sit in the shade if it warm up.
If it warms up, remember to modify.
Warms, and it is the S2. Okay.
It. Carlos, letter E.
Until we stopping pollution, the oceans. Until we stopping pollution, the oceans, I won't swimming them.
I won't go swimming in them. Very good.
Oh.
Letter I, Manuel.
I will plug in my computer before the battery dies.
Where the battery dies. Letter I, Gabriela.
Before we go to have a picnic, I will make sure to pack a lunch.
Very good. I'll make sure to pack a lunch. And we'll still have, we'll have more. Alberto, again, letter K.
We will leave this continent as soon as we find a job overseas.
Very good. Letter M, Christian.
We will be apartment unit. I went back to my country.
Until I go back.
I come back.
And the last one, I know we still have two more and we're out of time. So let's finish. Carlos, we're almost done.
Okay. He Okay, he will go back to the mainland as soon as the weather will improve. Oh,
As soon as
as soon as the weather improves.
improves. Very good. And the last one, Manuel.
Okay. It will be chilly until the sun rises.
Okay, it will be chilly until
Sun
Right.
rises.
until the sun rises. What does it mean, this one? Will be chilly.
Va a
Do you know?
estar como que muy a gusto.
Augusto.
Like a little cool, like that.
Like a
Okay.
shield.
Very good. Well, with this, we're done. Do you have any question about this exercise we just answered?